I recently posted some videos on how to, or not really how to, it was more of a what can be done with the Sculpfun S9, probably a S6 and S6 Pro, but I'm not positive since I don't have one. But inside the controller in here is basically an Arduino style controller, Arduino Uno to be exact. And what you can do with this is add pause and resume functions. You can add end stops, and you can add cooling / air assist if you update or upgrade the firmware V1.1. So as I showed before, I added a lid switch, so when this switch is open, it trips the pause function, which stops the laser and waits for you to hit the resume button, which is right here. And then there's also limit switches. I've added just end stops on the homing side. You can see down there. There it is. I did not add end stops at the extreme end, the opposite, but you can in case it overruns. And then I also mentioned that I added the air assist, which is back here, and all this is controlled out of the board here inside. So I plan on showing how that's done in the rest of this video. For end stops, I want to be clear, I got my start with end stops and got the information from another gentleman online who also sells a kit on eBay. If you would like his kit, he also has LED lights to show when the end stops are active. So in order to make it simpler, I'm going to refer to his video. And within his video, he refers to the GRBL version 1.1 install. And with that being said, we'll move on. I'll put that in the links so you guys can view that and see how it's installed. And he also has good instructions to start, but I'm not gonna step on his toes. But you'll be able to see it's actually pretty simple once I show you the rest of the board and how this works. Some of the things that you'll need to make sure of when after you do the GRBL version 1.1, there's some device settings down here, and those would include auto home and startup, and I put in a return to finish just so when it's done it goes back in the corner. You need enable laser fire, enable out of bounds warning, and then let's close that. And then machine settings, I'll go over in a little bit more detail, but if you're not familiar with, you click machine settings. There's some settings here. Hard limits needs to be true. Homing cycle needs to be true. Laser mode enable is true. And then if you do output setup, it'll ask you the first time when you open it if you want to continue, because this kind of changes some things inside the firmware that could be dangerous or mess up your laser. X homing direction invert needs to be true. Y homing direction invert needs to be true on this portion here. And I also will export my settings to a text file and include that with this video. This part of the video is showing the XY DLC V1.1 board inside the Sculpfun. Pause A1, resume A2, and air assist is A3. As you can see, those connections, the ground is right next to those pins, so that's what you would use. Here's the resume switch normally open, and the lid switch, or any other active low signal you want. For example, I use a fire detection system. I've shown that briefly in another video, but I didn't exactly do the how-to on that one, but I could. This is the air assist diagram with a 5-volt DC relay, normally open, using 12-volt source to activate the solenoid. You can see the pinouts here is A3, and use the extra connector with voltage 5 volts out. This is a brief hint about the end stops. X end stop ground and X end stop signal, which is shorts to ground when active, is the same as X and for the X end stop and the Y end stop. And you can check out the table. See description for added files and links to these items. GRBL 1.1 firmware install video, limit switch video from Oscar Valera, of where I got this all started from. My config.h file for the Sculpfun XY DLC V1.0 control board. This may work for other boards, but I'm not sure. My machine settings and my air assist Thingiverse project to include parts list.